Hi everybody, I'm up at the ferry bridge in Glencrairin, never been before. No idea what to expect other than I've seen other people's videos online. So let's go. We have a couple of cars in the car park, so I'm guessing I'm not alone. And judging by the number of videos I've seen recently from this location, I'm guessing at least a few of these are going to be photographers. Bit of competition. I passed some bluebells on the way up, so I'm hoping that there might be some bluebells somewhere in the wood, but if not, I'm basically here to shoot the ferry bridge anyway. So, if like me you've never been, there's a signpost at the car park which shows you the main path, and from what I can see, this path that I'm on is pretty much a loop, but there's a little diversion goes off when you get to the furthest part of this path, which leads you off in the general direction of the ferry bridge. Now, I'm clearly not here to shoot the bluebells, but it's actually got quite a bit of potential as a bluebell would as well. We're at the second junction, complete with hat. So it would appear this is the path to the bridge. It's clearly a little less defined, but I wouldn't say it was difficult to follow. Famous last words. More bluebells down now. The good news is I can hear what sounds like waterfalls. So, fingers crossed. Right, well, we have some other photographers here just now, so rather than just barge in on their image, I'm going to have a wander around, see if I can scout out some locations. And almost immediately I've noticed this little path here going down towards the water's edge. Just going to be careful here. Yeah, that's not too bad, eh? Unfortunately we don't quite get the waterfall behind the bridge from this angle, but it might be possible to get across those stones and then shoot the fall from this little gravel area on the far side there. So I'm just going to wait till these other visitors move on and then I'll head across. In fact, I probably won't even have to jump across the rocks as such, because there looks to be quite a shallow section just there. Right, 10 points to this fella. Not only sees that I'm trying to take a photograph, he decides to take his shoes off and bathe in the water. A hero. Right, the good news is the Reign of Britain's moved on, so I can try and get the shot. This is lovely. I think for the next shot I'll probably stick the 24 to 105mm lens in and basically zoom in on pretty much that composition. So you've got the tree, the bridge at the top, these upper falls just framing, probably a square crop I think, and just a little hint of the falls behind. I'm going to have to move fast though because people. The joys of Scottish summer. Right, before the next set of people turn up, let me just talk you through what I've done. I've got the 24 to 105mm lens in now. I've zoomed in, so I've got pretty much this kind of angle, but I've got it in portrait orientation. So it's essentially just zoomed in on that bridge and these lower waterfalls. What I've done is I've started off by taking a few shots of the bridge with the waterfall behind. And the logic behind that is I figured that the next time somebody turns up, they're going to walk on that bridge again, aren't they? So the waterfalls I can pretty much snap at my leisure, provided Mr. Bathing Man doesn't come back. But at least I can capture the waterfalls without people, hopefully. Just as I say that, there's more people coming forward. So yeah, I'm going to quickly grab this shot and then I'll focus on the lower falls, take a couple of exposures of that, and yeah, we'll see what we can do. Yeah, the couple intent and bathing in the waterfall decided to return and stop for a while on top of the bridge. Thankfully they've moved on, so I've got a little window of opportunity to grab some shots. I'm going to quickly nick over to the other side of the stream now and see if I can get a shot shooting up the falls, and one that includes, I can get a little bit higher because that looks a little bit higher over there, and that should hopefully include the fall, which you can just see through the bridge. Hopefully you can see that. So yeah, I'm going to make my way over, cross the water and set up on that little shingle area there and do it all again. Right, I'm on the other side of the bridge. I'm not entirely sure that that's actually any better, to be brutally honest, but I've moved over, and there is perhaps a slightly better composition because I've got this trail of water now kind of leading the eye up to the bridge, which we didn't have before. So, and yeah, my friends are back. But yeah, I might take that. I've been shooting it as a portrait mode again, but I think actually horizontal might actually work slightly better because of this leading line here, and both of these lines of water, white water, are leading the eye up first to this little cascade area and then to the bridge beyond. So yeah, I'll switch over to horizontal mode and see if we can grab a shot of that. Right, yeah, I've got the bad feeling I actually accidentally picked the best composition straight away. I've come up onto the side now, and as you can see, you pretty much not only lose the bridge, but you lose all the waterfalls as well. There does look to be a viewpoint there, but I suspect there's way too many trees between that viewpoint and the bridge. But although you never know, because it does actually jut out a little bit, doesn't it? Right, I might grab a shot here just for reference, and then I'll try and find a path. There seems to be a path that leads across there to that little ridge. So right, let me challenge you with this particular composition. What I've done is I've switched over to 16 to 35mm lens. I'm right out at 16mm, so that's maximising my view, and it's actually wider than this video camera allows, so I'm going to have to show you But basically, by going this wide, it's allowing me to, well, first of all, exclude the sky, but include these bluebells here. And that's giving it a little dash of colour. It's also providing a nice colour contrast with these yellow and green mosses at the side of the bridge, and also the bright green foliage in the background there. But the bridge, reasonably well illuminated, and because I'm really wide and shooting in horizontal mode, I can also include these falls here. It's just maybe about there, you don't see the whole thing, maybe about there. But from there up to about there, across to about here, and I'm cutting off, the bridge is actually quite close to the left hand side of the frame. And I've got to say it looks okay, it actually does look okay. I've taken a couple of different exposures. One, firstly because I'm trying to make sure I capture some of the detail in this, the white water here. And I also want to make sure I get all the shadow detail from the bridge. But yeah, it looks all right. I've also did 2 focus points. I've focused on this rock here in the foreground and then again on the bridge. So hopefully between those 4 shots I can combine them. But what I really like about this, and I think I was saying it on the way up, it may not make the final edit, but I was saying it on the way up that I was really hopeful that if there was any bluebells near the bridge, that I can include them with the final shot. And it looks like I might have just done that. There's a lot more bluebells over there as well, so what I might do is head back across the water. Well, I'll go over the bridge, but back over to this side and see if there's a shot to be had with the bridge and then these bluebells in the background. But yeah, it looks like I might actually have got my wish and got a shot that allows me to include the bluebells in it. It's not often things got to plan for me, is it? Right, I've just noticed, this is a great thing about having never been before, you don't know what you're looking for. But I've just noticed, as well as the little falls that you can see through the arch of the bridge, there's actually, looks like a wee bit more significant falls at the other end there. So I'm going to get up onto this path. I'll go back the way and see if there is a shot in that little ridge that I was looking at. And if not, I'll make my way back. We'll go onto the bridge and see what we can do there. But yeah, this is looking like we might get some reasonable shots today, if only the regular bathing visitors don't return. Right, I've come up onto the little path and it's just dawned on me, I probably should have been looking at the kind of shots that these other photographers I mentioned got before I came out, because I've no idea if I'm shooting a cliche here or not. I like the image, but you know, this might be the one that everybody comes away with and I've no idea. Basically, what I'm trying to do here is, we've obviously got these kind of, I don't know what we're going to call them, flagstone type things. And oh, we've got some nice light on the bridge just now. But yeah, I'm trying to get it so that that fall in the background isn't lining up directly with one of those stones, because then it just disappears. So try to get it in the gap between a couple of the stones, and this kind of seems to be the best angle for that. There's another burst of sunlight coming through. That is absolutely amazing when the light comes through. And it's really lighting up those bluebells now, so that's hopefully going to help. I'm just having to quickly adjust the shutter speed. Yeah, that kind of angle there. There might even be a slightly better view. Let me just... Yeah, that's probably better again, isn't it? And then you get the entire waterfall. You get the flagstones at the front here, the bridge, the light's hitting this far wall here, which is quite nice. And yeah, I'm going to shut up and grab this before the sun disappears behind the cloud again. Now obviously what's happened here is you lose the view beneath the arch, which was actually part of the attraction, I guess. But yeah, I quite like that. I'm going to go along here a little bit now and shoot actually across the bridge, get both lines of these flagstones, and then we're going to move down onto that little ledge to see if there's a shot down there. But before I do, and before anybody else turns up, I'll grab this shot. Yeah, I'm not particularly sure that works as such, but because it really just looks like a couple of lines of flagstone, doesn't it? You don't really know that's a bridge. But what it does allow me to do is include the waterfall and include this carpet of bluebells up there. So for that alone, I'm happy. And by going a little bit wider, I can include the run up to the bridge, if you like, this little wall and these little flagstones as well. So yeah, not too bad. I've went completely 16mm, as wide as I can go, to try and include as much as possible, but I've also taken a couple of shots where I've zoomed in a little bit, so you've just got the waterfall and this here like that, making sure I include the bluebells and the top of the waterfall and the bottom there. So 2 shots in one there, I think. Right, I've come down to just below the arch of the bridge, and my thinking was I wanted to try and get this waterfall and these stones, but my problem is the sky, and that's burning out. So I'm trying to find an angle where I can include the waterfall, the arch, these stones, but exclude the sky. So you can kind of get it like that, but then you lose the stones. Or you can include the stones, but then you get the sky. So I'm just playing around with viewpoints to see if I can get another shot before I make my way back down the path. There must be a shot here, eh? Right, controversial moment coming up. I'm going to shoot handheld for a second because I can't quite get wide enough or high enough to get the shot that I'm after. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take lots and lots of little square shots, handheld, and then hopefully stitch them together in post-processing. I don't know if it'll work, and it's being done with a degree of risk because I'm having to stand up on a boulder just above the waterfall, but I'm hoping, because I've got up a little bit higher, I've excluded the sky, but I can't go wide enough to get it all in one shot as is. So as I say, I'm going to fire off probably 9, maybe even 12 shots, and then we'll see if we can stitch them together and post-processing, and then I'll be kicked out of any landscape photography club that I've ever been a member of. But we'll give it a go. So that's it for my first ever trip to the ferry bridge at Glencrane. Hope you enjoyed the video. Give us a little thumbs up if you did, and don't forget to hit subscribe if you like this kind of content. There's lots more videos planned, and if you're interested in the history and folklore of Scotland, then I'll leave a link below to my other channel, Tales from Scotland, which covers history and folklore and superstitions and that sort of stuff, mythical creatures. So yeah, in the meantime, thanks for watching. I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers, bye.